So lately I've been having conflicted thoughts on the afterlife. I used to be so certain that it was real growing up as a Catholic. I heard about it from all the adults that I grew up with, that I admired and respected. And it sounded glorious if you did things right, and awful if you did things wrong. Now, as I went into college, I became a non denominational Christian, and my thoughts kind of shifted in terms of how you get what you get. I'll admit, maybe a little new worldy, a little more to my own liking, possibly. And I thought about how maybe the afterlife wasn't about being good enough to make it or not being good enough and instead going to hell. Instead, my thoughts shifted to, well, heaven and hell is here on earth. And I still believe that to a certain degree. Uh, that your actions, the state of your mind, the conflict with your moral self and God, that's what created that hell or heaven. And that you could very much experience that here on earth. That if you were at constant odds with your morality and the voice of God in you, that you were living through hell here on earth. And that if you were, for the most part at least, obeying that moral, godly voice in your head, that you would be experiencing something like joy and something closer to heaven here on earth. And again, I still kind of believe that that's partially true. I think that that makes a lot of sense, even with when I have read the Bible. I admit I don't have the best knowledge of it, but it makes sense to me, a lot of sense to me. And I'm sure other people believe something like that too. But I've been thinking, though, there has to be more. There has to be something that happens after we're dead. At least if we're following the narrative of Jesus dying and then coming back to life, and then us being able to do that as well in a different way because of God and Jesus and what Jesus did for us. Like there's an actual afterlife, right? There's the talk of an actual afterlife, that after we physically die here on earth, there's something else, and that there's a heaven in that area. Possibly a hell there. I don't know if I really think that there's an eternal fire somewhere. I don't know that the Bible really meant that literally. I mean, that's a whole other topic. Like, what did the Bible actually mean literally? But that's not the point right now. My point is afterlife. Um, is there a heaven? Is there a hell? Again, I'm leaning more towards maybe not so much a literal, like, classical image of hell with a guy in red with a pitchfork and eternal fire burning us. But maybe there is such a thing as a heaven where there's eternal bliss. Is it a happy-go-lucky meadow? Maybe not. Maybe. But where I get really stuck up on is how our existence works there. Now we hear about eternal happiness now, and this is where I get strung up on, and this is what my thoughts have been on when it comes to the afterlife. Eternal cease to exist might be something, but also eternal life, which as Christians we tend to really glorify and want. But I've been thinking, do I really want that? To never stop existing? Eternal existence, even if in happiness? Well, maybe that happiness will make me oblivious to that fact. I don't know, but existing forever does not sound pleasant to me. To never, ever, ever, ever have an end? sounds insane. It makes my heart beat. It makes my mind just feel like it's turning. It's it sounds awful to me to live forever. And I don't know if I want that. Honestly, I think sometimes just ceasing to exist forever might sound a little more pleasant than that. But again, maybe the joy that we're promised is so great that we'll be oblivious to that fact and that fear of living forever and ever. Like, I don't know. I don't know. It's just got me really conflicted. I don't even know what I want anymore in terms of the afterlife. So, what are your thoughts? I don't know. Maybe there's more to it that maybe there's something here I'm missing. I would like to ask for help from anybody. How may I look at this? What do you think?